Want to take your camping to the next level? Then why not try glamping? Welcome to RV Glamping Adventures, where you can have a little glamour with your travel adventures. Please join your hosts, Neal and Kathy, as they share RV glamping information, RV park reviews, product recommendations, and so much more. Here's Neal and Kathy.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of RV Glamping Adventures with Neal and Kathy. I'm Neal.
And I'm Kathy. We thought we'd talk about something a little different today. I don't think we've really hit on, really on point, this target topic today.
We haven't. We've gone around this topic.
We've gone around it, but basically, guys, there's two passions in our life. I mean, up and foremost is family, right? That comes first.
Correct.
Pretty close after that, and it's all related, is RVing.
That's a big passion.
So the other passion we have is what we do in our real lives for a living. We've mentioned in the past that Neal's a chiropractor, so our life is all about promoting healthy lifestyles, good eating, and really helping our patients get on the path to health and wellness.
That's actually what we do the majority of the time.
Right, so that we can go RVing.
Yes, exactly.
With our family that we love.
Correct.
So we thought it'd be really fun to talk about that today because it's such a huge aspect. Like we've touched on it, I think, in past shows. But it's a huge aspect of when we go RVing. It's not about just s'mores and hot dogs and hamburgers.
No.
RVing to me equals healthy lifestyle.
It's and this is something that we've never really just dedicated one show to. So I'm kind of excited for this.
Well, this came out of a really great question from Stacy from Michigan, who emailed us, and thank you, Stacy.
Thanks,
it's kind of funny that this comes out of one simple question, this whole big topic. But basically, her question was this, and it started with the simple question of what one gadget or kitchen item couldn't you live without in the RV? Like something in your kitchen you have to have with you. And I thought that was a really interesting question. It got you and I talking about this, and then that turned into this whole other topic, and we went, oh my gosh, we got to do a show on this.
Oh, there's so many
things. We haven't done
things.
that yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's any just one thing that we can't live without.
No. But basically, this is the bigger umbrella. Yes, we're going to talk about gadgets and menus and fitness and all sorts of fun stuff like that today. But, the bigger topic here, the umbrella issue really is, for us, well, I want to live a long time, Neal, so for obvious reasons, we want to be with our children and watch, maybe
have
get some grandkids.
Healthy aging.
And we want to RV, basically. Basically, it comes down to
Totally.
we have got lots of plans, and we want to RV for a long time.
I want to be able to go up on the roof of the RV as long as I possibly can.
Well, you will, no matter what. Like,
sure.
Even if you shouldn't, I think you don't make the best choices all the time.
No.
So,
but I try. That's
and
the
you'd
thing.
probably go up barefoot and... not a good idea.
So you slide across the roof once barefoot because it's wet.
Right.
I didn't fall off.
Lesson learned, or should be lesson learned. I don't know that always works for you. But, so the bigger topic for us that we were going to sort of get into this today is just, you can really bring that whole healthy living and what we promote in our business, healthy lifestyle, bring that into RVing. It just, to me, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. And healthy living isn't something that you just do at home or on vacation. It is your lifestyle, and it's something that just goes with you every day. And it's about making really good choices. I'm not great at that. I want to put it out there.
Well, we basically, I think Neal and I have a motto of, we talked the last couple of weeks about, positive outlook and putting good stuff out there to the universe and all that stuff. But the other aspect of it is putting good things into your body.
Absolutely, that's
doing
number
good
one.
Things, and I'm, we're certainly not. I don't see myself going on any, TV show for, weightlifting or anything like that. But we're definitely fit, active people. Yes. And our motto every day is, besides that whole positive energy thing, making the best choices.
And it's okay every now and then to have like some chips or something like that, right?
Well, I was just going to finish what we're going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Neal's excited about this topic.
I am so excited about this topic.
But basically, we're all about making the best decisions you can each and every day. And yes, there's going to be days you have a bowl of chips.
Yes.
But maybe you're going to get the chips that were done in avocado oil. Like there's little adjustments. And
they're quite tasty, by the way.
That are very tasty. But there's little adjustments you can make in your everyday life, and you don't sacrifice anything. And I just feel like when we go out RVing, we don't put that on hold. We keep that going and probably do it tenfold.
Well, actually, I can say even when we go out to our local restaurants or anything like that, we do that too. I sometimes will try something different and go off, and I know I don't always make the healthiest choices, but you constantly make a really good choice for yourself all the time. And
Yes.
I love that about you.
I'm just laughing because you so easily go
yeah.
go the bad way.
Well, we went to a restaurant.
And he'll look at me and just go, is this a good choice? And maybe it's like the worst, the total equals 5,000 calories for one meal. And I'm just looking at him like, it's not a good choice.
A couple of weeks ago, we were at a restaurant, and I thought this was a genius thing that the restaurant does, but they put pictures up of, like, on a big TV monitor about their menu. And one of them, I was like, oh, God, that looks so good. And that had to be like an 8,000 calorie meal.
And you were ready to order it.
I was so set to order it, and I didn't. And
I'll never say don't get it.
And my choice I got was very good.
Because I give him the look, guys.
It's a look.
I give him
It's
the
a
look. Because it's not like I'm trying to control Neal or anything like
No,
that.
not at all.
But, I need a co-pilot in life here, guys. I need someone to you're my best friend. I love you. But I need someone to help me drive the RV and do the sewage thing. I'm not doing that. So you're a useful engine, and I need you around, babe.
I'm not going anywhere.
So but he'll have his, like, this is what I'm going to get. And there's, like, drool coming out. And
I'm like, this
he's
picture looks so good.
Yeah, he's got fork and knife in hand. He's ready to go. And I just look at him. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, I don't know what, Neal, we kind of always have this joke of, like, if I wasn't around keeping you on the, straight and narrow, Neal would be sitting in some apartment all by himself eating a block of cheese and ice cream. And by the way, I'm pretty sure Neal's lactose intolerant. So these are not good choices.
Yeah, but let's just go back. Cheese is awesome, and ice cream's so good. I can't resist either one.
We are not about, guys, we're not about saying no to all those things.
Oh, no, obviously.
Moderation. We're all about moderation, making the best choices you can. So this whole conversation stemmed out of this email from Stacy.
Thank you, Stacy.
So, it kind of came down to, well, how do we do that? It's really hard to bring it down to one item.
Right.
But I'm going to just ask, what is your one item you couldn't live without? Now, Neal and I have a division of labor when it comes to, we've made that pretty clear.
Yes.
He gets to keep the outside, I take care of the inside.
That's exactly it,
But, okay, like if one thing, inside or out, I'll even give you that, inside or out, what one thing couldn't you live without
coffee
for
pot.
the coffee pot?
Coffee pot.
Why?
I need my morning coffee. It's one cup. That's all we do. We're not like coffee throughout the day.
Organic coffee, even, guys.
It's organic coffee. What's it called? Fair trade from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So
it's delicious.
It's delicious.
And what we find when we go organic, we really do taste a difference.
There's a big difference.
And I don't mind spending the extra
difference.
money. I know it's a whole gamut. I mean, there is a whole market thing. But I'll pay the extra money because I think we're getting, well, first of all, the fair trade is one thing, but I think we're getting better quality and better tasting food to put in our bodies.
Food that we eat now, and I'm going to be 49 soon. But
dun dun dun.
But food that we eat now, or food that's out there available now, is not the same food as what we had when we were kids.
Yeah,
there's all sorts of changes to it.
There's a whole political conversation around that, but
Right.
we really have noticed in the last 8 to 10 years, certainly there's been a change in the quality of food people are getting. For us, it's a real wake-up call when you see how many of your kids or grandkids are in peanut-free allergy rooms.
Or have allergies, food allergies.
We never had that.
No.
Nobody ever heard that. I grew up in the 70s. We didn't know about that. So something's changed. There's a lot more allergies. I'm dealing with a gluten intolerance, and I ended up in the hospital last year. So it was a real wake-up call,
yeah.
In the last few years for us. And so we've really changed how we've eaten. This comes down to a cup of coffee. And I would agree with you. I would say cup of coffee. We don't do the Keurig kind of one cup thing. We really like our cup. This is one thing. We usually kind of set the RV up that it has everything that we like that we have at home.
Yeah, first off, we have a kitchen in the RV that's fully stocked and a kitchen at home that's very similar.
But this one goes back and forth.
Yes.
I guess I just don't see the point of...
No, I have 2 coffee makers.
Yeah, with that one, it's like, that goes
Plus,
back and
forth. Plus,
forth.
it's just going to sit there, and God knows what happens when it sits there.
And we like the whole brewed thing. I'm it's a personal choice. If you love the Keurig, get the Keurig.
Absolutely, yeah.
But for us, we like that whole brewed, and we have a stainless steel coffee pot. I don't know how many coffee pots Neal broke before we figured out we shouldn't buy a glass one.
13. No, it was crazy.
Probably close.
Every time I turn around, I'm like, oh, God, I broke it again. I think I broke 2 in a week one time.
Yeah.
Just, and so, especially with traveling, I think the stainless steel one's fantastic. It goes back and forth.
And it can handle, like, we put it, when we're traveling, we keep it underneath in the storage
fine.
unit under the RV, and it's not going to break. If you had
It's
a
not gonna
glass
break.
one, I don't care what you wrap it in. That sucker's going to break.
It can break.
So, it's funny, though, when we were talking about this. That's the one thing. And we're not even talking cooking items. That was like both.
We need
apparently,
the coffee.
we have 1 cup all day.
Yeah.
That is it. I don't even think we drink a whole cup. It's probably half a cup.
Yeah.
It's cold by the time we get to it. And, that's the one thing we agree on. But we thought we'd sit down and we made out a list. And we also looked up, like, what other people do. So we thought that'd be fun to share with you guys, give you some ideas if you're for the first time setting up your RV, what kinds of things. Like, I didn't know, when back in 2008, there were not. That's why we wrote a book back in 2011.
Yeah, there were no outlines.
Books.
No. There were travel guides.
That was called. By the way, if you want to look up our ebook, or is that right? Ebook.
Yeah.
RV Family Road Trip. We wrote that back in 2011.
I think it's on Amazon. Is it
Amazon? Definitely
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble. And what?
Nobo.
Yeah, there's a bunch
few
of
other ones.
If you Google it, you'll find it. But that was we put in like items and all that stuff. So we thought today would be kind of fun to talk about that, to give you some ideas. And maybe you don't have some things and you want to do some more cooking and different types of cooking. Besides, this episode's going beyond hamburgers and hot dogs.
And there's nothing wrong with hamburgers and hot dogs. We do it when we're on the road, but not always.
No, that's like
it's a day.
I enjoy that now and then.
Yeah.
But we like to make some nice meals, healthy meals,
yeah.
and you can eat a healthier version of the hamburger hot dog too. So, but we came up with a list of what we think would be really important. Now, we go out to eat. We're not going to lie. When we go on trips, my vacation too, I'm the one that cooks. And let me tell you why. Because Neal thinks...
I don't cook well.
He is great at the barbecue. He really is. You do
you.
a great job with, doing a whole... From veggies to fish, whatever. You're great, salmon on the planks,
I can
the cedar
cook
planks.
on and grill.
You can. But it is not a good idea, Neal, to put taco meat that you find in the kitchen, in the fridge, with eggs.
No, that wasn't good. But it was actually,
and it's also
tasty.
not a good idea.
Hot dogs and eggs are fantastic.
It's also not a good idea to use frozen blueberries when you're making pancakes.
So they were purple. In honor of purple.
He tries, guys. He
I did
really
try.
does. It's very
I tried
sweet.
so hard.
But, we just have to know what we're good at.
We have like
life.
a stigma in the family now. So like even, when Mother's Day comes around, I said to Kathy, what do you want? We'll go out or do something. And she's
Next
like,
week's Mother's Day.
She goes, you're not cooking, right?
Yeah, please.
I go,
please, no.
we'll do something nicer than that. She goes, really, I love you, but please don't cook.
I don't think hot dogs cut up with eggs is also not a good idea.
If you add cheese and ketchup, it's fantastic.
No,
it's
not,
so good.
not in my world. And
No.
again, going back to the healthy eating, I don't think
That's not really
good.
healthy. Yeah, but those are things I ate when I weighed 250-something pounds.
So when we go RVing, we do make plans for going out to eat. But
I don't eat that
we
anymore.
do whatever we can do to, save money. It's going to be a big budget saver, is cooking as much as you can in the RV. So for us, that means, Neal mentioned it earlier, we really try to set up the RV just generally so it's sort of all encapsulated. We don't have to move too much back and forth. So I try to set it up with the things so I can make the meals that, our family's used to making. So we try to bring in certain things to make it easier for us to be able to cook and, make it accessible that, say we're gone all day out playing and running around and looking at sightseeing and all that fun
Our
stuff.
vacations tend to be active.
Yeah, they're really active, and if we don't do, right there is the fitness. There is no joke, if we're not doing 20,000 steps each a day on our trips, that's weird for us.
Yeah,
we're just used to going.
It's always active.
So, but getting back to what we think you need to bring, well, for us, there's just certain items. And again, we look these up, like other people have these lists out there. So it's kind of fun to Google that and see what other people are bringing. But we came up with, I would say, the number one thing we need to bring with us to cook, and this is a little bit going back to Stacy, other than the coffee maker, Stacy, to cook something, and what we use probably the most is our
Say it, Kath.
crock pot.
Yes.
And that is like the number one. I thought that was just so 1970s of me because I use the crock pot.
Yeah, I don't think it's 1970s. I think
Or slow cooker. I guess I'm using a brand name now.
I think it's just a good way for us to do, especially when we're so active that we, I know when I come home from running around or doing anything, I'm hungry.
Well, we'll
The
be
kids
gone
are
all
hungry.
day, and then we got to get back to the dog who's in the RV, and so we try to come back. If we're not going out for an early dinner, so we can get back to the RV because we got to let the dog out. It's really nice to, you're coming home. It's like 5 o'clock. You've been sightseeing all day. Everybody's tired.
Yep, exactly.
We're hungry. I love throwing, before we go away in the morning, we'll put something together in the crock pot. And you really can make some healthy menus out of that.
Yeah.
Great recipes out there. If you don't know any, Google some. I'm going to share a couple with you. And we're actually going to be doing a little bit more this summer on our trips. We had this idea of doing some more, like sharing of the recipes that we're using. I'll put some pictures up and people are like, oh my gosh, what's that?
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be kind of fun to share some of our family favorites. And maybe do some videos of, I feel like I'm going to be like Martha Stewart.
It's going to be awesome, and
I thought it'd be fun.
I get to eat.
But you can put together some really healthy stuff, throw it in the crock pot, plug it in, and go.
Yes.
And you come home and, maybe it might be the main course, maybe it's your whole meal is in there, but it's done, and you can just throw it the rest together in 10 minutes and be ready to eat.
I mean, there's nothing better than when we come back and we're all hungry and tired to go and, okay, dinner's ready.
And it just smells
That's
so good to come back to.
It's a great thing.
So, definitely I don't think we could live without. And we've got the larger 13 or so quart.
We bring a lot of people with us.
Yeah, so I at home now, because we have less people at home, I have a smaller one that we use, kind of a medium-sized one, but I get the larger size slow cooker for that. We just keep that in the RV. That's just something we just use all the time, from spaghetti, meatballs, chilies, soups. You can even throw some chicken breasts in there, and that becomes shredded chicken for tacos or whatever. Like, there's so many healthy items, menu plans you can make out of that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And again, we saw that on a ton of people's lists. Neal, what would you say is number 2?
Number 2 would be, I would probably say, and this isn't like any special thing, but more about a food processor or a blender. That's
Why?
what I would say. I like smoothies, but I also think of food. I just like smoothies or milkshakes. But
I was going to say,
we'll go
smoothies, also called milkshakes. Those are two different things.
And they're very healthy if you do it right. But but also with the food processor, you're able to cut down some of the time. So there's some meals that you can make that you slice and dice and get it all taken care of, and just cuts down on time, gives you more counter space actually.
Yeah,
and all the chopping and all that.
Yeah, for us it really comes down. I mean, you can make a lot of things. It's about space too, like you said.
Yeah.
So to bring a blender and a food processor, I use a food processor like I do a blender.
Yeah.
So now this is another thing that we actually have that goes between. One thing I have that goes between the house and the RV.
Yeah.
I don't actually
That's
leave the food processor in there.
So coffee maker and food processor.
They do stay.
Yes.
No, I mean, they go back and forth. But yeah, you can make soups in your food processor. You can do, I think there's a huge group of people now that are doing the protein shakes as a meal or whatever. So it's a great way to, again, come up with some healthy food choices for you.
Yeah.
And a space saver, I think. So you're not bringing both. Some people like that bullet, the NutriBullet.
Yeah, that would be a good
That's
thing.
just not big enough for us. So
Well,
I get,
for the amount of people.
an 8-cup food processor. That kind of works for us. So yeah, that's a good
Takes a lot of time off of food prep, which,
Yeah,
I
it
do
really
help.
does.
I'm kitchen
yeah,
support.
he's kitchen support.
I'm kitchen
he's
support.
He's great kitchen support. I also think that, and this is bringing in my type A personality, when we were kind of brainstorming, what's important to us in the kitchen for us to be able to make healthy meals, I need, it's not a one item thing, it's like just an atmosphere. I need an organized kitchen.
Yeah.
In the RV, you're only dealing with so much counter space and you have only so much space.
True.
I kind of have a system, but there's items you can get to make your space more workable. Yeah. So it's not just one thing. I'm thinking of as much as you can organize your space, and I really think that's individual, like how you like your space to be. Maybe it's like little containers that have the magnets that you can put your spices in that are accessible to you. Maybe it's organizing because you only get so many shelves, and we're bringing a lot of food, so we only have so much shelving for all of this stuff. So there's great stores like IKEA, Target, the container stores, whatever, organization stores that you can go out and buy items that can really enhance your space so you can prepare a nice meal in a space that you're comfortable in. And it should be fun. It should be fun to enjoy the space that you're cooking in. I really feel that.
No, and I also think this goes through the whole RV, really, because I think not just the cooking, but our whole RV is organized.
Yeah.
So most people who do have RVs and motorhomes and such, they are by nature, just by travelers. You have to be organized.
If you need ideas for that, go on Pinterest.
Oh, it's
that is
huge.
the one thing I use Pinterest for. Is if you need ideas for something,
some
go
people
there.
have done some
I mean, they've
good
got
things.
some great ideas.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's so individual based on how your RV is. All right. So, what would be? I guess we need to go to the outside here, Neal. This is your realm.
Yes.
What would be
Yes.
something you really?
The grill.
What's important to you?
The grill.
The grill.
The grill. We have a very nice Coleman propane. It's collapsible. 2 burners. I don't even know the BTUs, but whatever. But it does a great job. It's the typical
We've gone
Coleman.
through a couple in this particular
This is the best
Coleman.
one. We've had this one for a while.
It collapses, so the storage is great on
it
that.
folds down.
But you've prepared a lot of meals on
I've done
there
a lot
that are
on it,
terrific.
yeah. It's been really good. It's easy to cook with, and it's always the heat is what anybody who grills knows you need consistent heat. And so the one we have has consistent heat, both sides. It's fantastic, and we've made some really neat things on that.
Well, and to enhance that, so I mean, and this is where Neal could do like a whole meal all by himself. Is I got for like Father's Day and birthdays, I love to get him grilling stuff. So we got what would you call them, like veggie grilling baskets or
They're just
something?
like grilling baskets. They're great because we're able to cut up a bunch of vegetables, put them in like a coconut oil, salt and pepper, and then put them on the grill. And instead of having to like individually turn each one, you can just stir them up like you would, and they cook throughout. The heat disperses fantastically.
Yeah.
And we're able to make a full meal. And then on the other side, I'm cooking whatever meat or whatever we're doing.
We also love
salmon.
to bring along. You're talking the salmon. We love to get like sort of load up on cedar.
The planks. Yeah.
And you really got to soak them for a good half hour, 45 minutes before you cook with them, so they don't burn. But I mean, when you're cooking fish on a grill, there's no better way.
Oh, it's a great thing. When you put the salmon on the plank, the cedar's smoking up a little bit, it gets through the salmon. It's fantastic.
Neal made a meal one night with all the veggies and the salmon, and we put a salad together. And I really hate when people take pictures of their food.
Yeah.
But I had to do it. And just say, look at this. And this was
colorful.
just sitting out, having dinner at a picnic table, at an RV park, and we put this meal together. It looked like you got it at a 5-star restaurant. The likes we got in that were crazy. Everybody's like, that looks delicious. And what a healthy meal that was. And the kid, that's what the kids eat. This is what they get.
The veggies were organic, and the salmon was wild caught or sockeye.
Yeah.
Either one.
Stick to
But they
that.
just have such a different texture between the two, between farm raised. It just, in the picture, it just popped.
Yeah. So when you have these extra like add-ons, accessory type things to what you're cooking, that's a healthy meal.
It was very healthy.
Dr. Oz is not going to argue with you on that one.
Nope.
And
we
also,
don't want Dr. Oz to argue with us.
No. Also outside, as we have like a flat, you can use it inside, but we tend to use it outside. We have a table where we can do our extra cooking because we have a griddle. And it's one of these, it's electric one. So we use it on standard electric grill. Sometimes we'll like just sort of, basically it's like pan frying your veggies, or, we've done some French toast and pancakes. And I mean, I've seen other people do this. I think it's pretty standard that you've got to have that.
I think that's just, that's just one of those RVing things and traveling pieces of equipment that everybody has for bacon and sausage.
Yeah,
and
there's no better smell than that.
Yeah.
And it's got
Pancakes.
a nice, talking about if you're going to do, we do like a turkey bacon when we have bacon. And so there's very little grease that comes off of that. But the thing when you use those electric griddles is there's a grease catcher. Right. So that's saving you. You're not like sitting, cooking your stuff in all this grease. So little modifications, and you can get a healthier meal out of, again, it's about making the best choices possible.
Also, when we make pancakes, you're able to make like 8 or 10 at a time. And when we have like 6 of us sitting around, it's a lot easier than one pancake in a frying pan at a time.
We need a little more space.
Yeah,
so, I mean, inside and out, I think it's important to have the right spatulas and all those things you love to cook with at home. Get it for the RV so you've got what you need to make the meals that are going to be best for you and your family.
Yeah, you got me a meat thermometer one time that I think is fantastic.
So we don't get salmonella.
Yeah, well, that's it, because nothing ruins a trip like salmonella.
Yeah. Inside, going back inside, same kind of thing. I got to have those spatulas that I like, the tongs that I like.
Yeah.
There's just certain things that I don't know. I use these items when I'm cooking, so I got duplicates of them for the RV.
Well, I mean, a good knife set is
a good
huge.
knife set's really important
It's
for
huge.
food prep. If you're not using food processor, you need a good knife set, or at least a good couple of knives with a nice cover to it, so nobody slices their fingers
when we
off.
did this stuff in the beginning, we didn't really think, and again, there were no guidebooks to say this is what you need for your travel plans and your trips. So we didn't know that you should have a good knife set. That was something we had to learn.
We were
through
using these
trial and error
steak knife sets that we got, and they were horrible to like cut up, and so everything would come up. It just
was
I
hard
don't know.
work.
There's
It
something
was hard
nicer
work.
about a good knife for for pairing and doing what you need to do.
I think you need the right tools for the job.
That's right. That's my point.
See?
Inside, I also need my favorite thing to have. Another favorite thing to have would be, I use these because of the number of us. I use a really large size fry pan, not for frying, but for putting together my meals. I'm like the Sandra Lee of cooking. I'm semi-homemade. I like to put things together.
I forgot the name of it. What is it? It's like
a big, I don't know.
It's deep. It's about 3 inches
It's wok-like,
deep.
but not, and they always come with a cover.
Yeah.
But I get the largest one of that because I tend to do a lot of recipes where I kind of call it the kitchen sink. Everything but the kitchen sink. Well, I'm going to put these on. I won't get too much into it, but basically, I put pictures of that on Facebook. So look at me putting on pictures of my food.
Again, it's delicious.
But I want people to see, like, you can eat healthy.
Yeah.
And there might be some shrimp, and I like to bring a lot of different items that, again, we keep at home that we love to put together. So I might make a whole salmon dish with capers and tomatoes, and I put Kalamata olives and everything. And I'll just put together this whole thing, and you can just have it on its own, or with some pasta, or with rice, whatever. And there's another thing I'll do with just chicken. If you're more of a chicken, you can replace it with beef. We're not red meat eaters per se. So you can put it together, some chicken with, whatever you have that you love the flavors together. I love it with some asparagus, and again with the tomato, everything but the kitchen sink. It's whatever
really
you have
good.
that, like, oh yeah, that'll taste good together. And again, it can be on its own and just be kind of like a stir fry, or you can put it on a potato or pasta or whatever.
How do you season it? I never asked.
I don't.
You don't?
I really don't.
Yeah.
I use a lot of lemon and coconut oil when I'm cooking. We love those flavors together. I'm not even a salt and pepper user. I think that the foods as they cook have, you don't need salt if you're putting like Kalamata olives in something.
Right, yeah.
That brings out, you cook that all together for a while, that brings out a saltiness. So I like to sort of use the flavors and enhance the dish with flavors of the food that I do salt and pepper.
No, it's really good.
And
it's
you
really
don't
good.
really need it that. Like, I don't see anybody adding salt and pepper to any of our meals after. So it's important for me to have that good pan to use. For us, it's a larger one because I'm cooking for up to 6 at sometimes. Okay. And the other thing I really couldn't live without would be like an 8-quart size pot for like pasta or soup or something like that. Corn, if we're not doing it on the barbecue, we're boiling it. That's just something, we always make spaghetti on one. It's one of our favorite meals. So that's just something we use all the time. So that's something that goes, and of course a good strainer to go with that.
Yeah, you need a strainer.
We've bought little travel ones. That doesn't work when you're cooking pasta for 8 people, and the pasta, as you're pouring it out, it's falling into the sink because it's not going to work.
And I think, totally off the subject, but we had the speaking of strainers, the dish rack. We bought the travel dish rack. Not very good.
No, you need a decent dish rack.
You need a big dish rack.
Because cleanup's important.
Absolutely.
Also in that vein for us is I like to have, we sometimes the kids don't eat all of the food. And there's leftovers.
There are leftovers.
And there's another meal, so ka-ching, you've saved some more money or snack for some. There's always the second dinner later at night. But I love to use, and don't laugh, but I'm a big Ziploc gal.
Yeah.
So I like those gallon-sized bags, the sandwich-sized bags. They're just really great. It's a space saver. Yeah. But like I've been known to put pasta in there or chicken wings or whatever and put them in there, zip it up, and it's a space saver in the fridge.
And every time we're traveling, almost every night, I'll get up or something, I hear the microwave going because somebody's in the gallon bag eating something.
Yeah. So, that
Which
we also,
great.
we'll bring like the little Tupperware Rubbermaid ones too, but that, the Ziplocs just kind of work, and less dishes later too, I hate to say. But, you need storage, you need stuff for leftovers. And again, that's going to there's extra food if somebody needs some more later. You save some money on someone having a snack or a meal later. But we looked up what other people like to bring too, and some of the items I saw beyond what we came up with was Dutch oven was a big one. I'm not a big Dutch oven cooker. It interests me. I might try a recipe. But
I don't even know what it is.
Well, it's like a big pot that you can actually put into the oven.
Oh.
So you can cook it start something up on the stovetop. You can put the lid up and you can put it and you bake it.
Oh, okay.
So there's the folks that really swear by that, and pressure cookers. So some people, that's just not something I cook with. I'll put it in a crock pot so it's done when we come home.
Yeah. Again,
but that saves time. Yeah, we've just never used that. I guess I'm kind of afraid to.
I'm
I feel like it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
So I just don't cook like that. So, but some people do, and that's a good thing to have in the RV for quick meals and food prep and that kind of thing. So for us too, what else is? I think that was about it for items that we came up with. Just think about what you're using at home.
Oh, good cutting
and
board.
Duplicate it. Good cutting board that goes with the knives.
Yeah, that's another one. I'm trying to think of a list in my head. Spatulas, all that stuff. It's
Again,
basically
it's really like
everything, measuring cups, everything you have at home.
Yeah.
Why, for us, what we've done is just like we said
I don't
before.
even know why I bring measuring cups. If I bake, I bake before we go.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
And I don't actually bake it. But if you're full timing it, I mean, obviously you need all those things. So you got to really think about your needs and like brainstorm it, write it down, and get these things in your kitchen so you can prepare healthy things for your family.
There are a lot of people who, even if they're not full timing, will bake brownies.
Yeah.
Make a nice healthy brownie mix or something.
The bottom line for us guys is it's what we do for a living, but we've got 4 kids that we've raised and are raising, and we've always tried to be good role models for them, always, in all aspects of our life, showing them moderation, showing them healthy eating. They're not going to learn much of this stuff on their own unless you're showing them how to do
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
So it really comes down to, and we're watching it working. It's working because 2 of ours are on their own.
And when they go shopping, how do they do?
They're doing it.
They're doing it.
I don't know about the 19-year-old. He's in between. Mostly he still comes over and raids our kitchen.
Yeah. And
But
he eats out a
the
lot.
22-year-old, the oldest one, he's doing it. Like he's eating healthy. He's making good choices.
He will send us pictures of his food. And
He does. Oh my God, I taught him that. So, it's really
but it
about
looks
role
good.
modeling all
It's
that.
all healthy stuff.
Yeah. So in part with this, I just sort of want to briefly touch on an important thing that we do in preparing for our trips is the meal planning.
Oh, that's huge.
I am not someone at this point in my life, turning 46. I cannot go to the store and remember everything I need to remember. Those days are over.
Yeah, well,
I may go in
I
for
could never
one
do
thing.
that.
I go in for one thing and I leave with 20 and I left without the item I actually went in there for. So
And that's common.
Well, 2 reasons I do meal planning and write it down. I need lists, I need menu items so I don't forget. And so we'll sit down and say we got a 2.5 week trip coming up. That's a big one. Now this trip's going to be great because I can't possibly shop for 2.5 weeks and have fresh fruits and vegetables.
No.
So we're going to be having a car tow. We're going to be able to bring our car. And hallelujah, we're going to be able to make it to a grocery store to replenish and get fresh fruits, which is fun to go see. I mean, that takes it to a whole other level of traveling, that you get to go to maybe a local market, or there's often festivals and markets on a Saturday morning in some town. You get to see a whole other part of that culture of the town. So it gets you out there, and I love trying different grocery stores and that kind of thing. We love to do that.
Absolutely,
The kids will even come. Oh yeah, let's go see that.
I like this.
Food? Yes, I'm in.
Yeah.
So we'll go and do that. But, I'll just sort of plan, like, all right, out of the 2.5 weeks, when are we eating out? Because some we make, for example, we'll be at Disney on this one for a little bit of it. So there's a few restaurants we've booked. All right, we don't have to make meals that night, but I got to think about breakfast, lunch. And we usually plan, I don't know, we're probably going to make 5 to 7 meals.
Oh, yeah.
In that 2.5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So I at least will try to meal plan that, put a recipe, put the recipes together. What kind of, I won't say what nights we're going to eat it. I do think about expiration dates. So if we're going to be gone and I've got a lot of fruits and veggies, I'm going to probably use those veggies up first while they're still good. And then maybe day 5, I'm making spaghetti meatballs. You know what I mean? So I think about expiration dates.
I think that's just, that's just how life is, too. You'll even do that at home, I think.
Yeah.
There's some times where shopping's on, say, Friday. The fresher stuff is like...
It's gone by Sunday.
Exactly. And
We're
I think
usually
everybody,
heading to the
that's
store
normal
again
for
Monday
them.
or Tuesday for more stuff.
I think that's just normal.
And that's the cool thing is because the kids are eating the fruit. We just put that out. Grapes are that's like crack in our
they
family.
love the grapes.
So putting out healthy snacks for your family, having like little tangerines available just in a bowl, those are gone. And
Yes.
I'm telling you, even if they're chip eaters, whatever, they're going to pick that tangerine or those grapes before they go to the chips. I'm telling you. When that becomes an option and it's there, they don't care. They just see food. I want to eat it. So
Yeah, it really comes down to if you have healthy choices for them, they're going to eat what they have.
Yeah.
Because kids, Olivia's in a growth spurt right now, and she's
oh
eating
my
everything.
God, she's been eating nonstop.
Granted, she's running track,
She
and
runs
she's doing really well.
90 minutes a day. That
Yeah.
might be why. But I've always felt like I ran our home kind of like a group home.
Never heard this.
I was no, you have heard this. I was a social worker, guys, for years before I started working with Neal, and so that was my old field. And so one question I hated every day, and I get this on vacation too, is what's for dinner?
Yeah.
So I would put together, and it's how I shopped. I'd put together the weekly menu. So nobody had to, because I had 5 people every day, including you, Neal.
I never
What's
did
for
this.
dinner?
Look
I'd
on
be
the
like,
refrigerator.
Go look on the fridge.
Yeah.
So I actually do that on the trips too. So nobody, and I'll even put down what dinner reservation we have that night. Let's say at Disney. So people go, oh, cool, we're going to blah blah blah. Or what are we doing tonight? It's on the fridge. It's there, and they just know. It might be fish tacos. It might be hamburgers, whatever, it's there. And I'll just shop based on that. And then I have to think about breakfast and lunch items that everybody likes. But we always try to find the healthiest options possible. And, I shop for that. So I really think it's a budget saver that I stick to, what I have on the list.
Yeah, but I think I was going to say, like, breakfast and lunch, typically everybody's on their own.
Yeah, but I get options.
There's a lot of options.
We might do
There's
some
a lot of
non-pizza on the barbecue, and everybody makes their own pizzas because they can personalize it. It's
otherwise,
fun.
they're on their own, kind of, and it works for them, too.
Healthy eating doesn't have to be blah and boring.
No.
The food
It's all
should
what
be
you have.
flavorful and fun, and look up new recipes. That's what Google's for.
Yes.
And you can find some great recipes to use all these things with. So, that being said, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about fitness.
Yay! My RV Destinations. It's a site you can use to rate RV resorts, campgrounds, attractions, restaurants, and more. Let fellow RVers know where to go and what to do while they're in town. It's an excellent resource for all RVers. Check out myrvdestinations.com.
Colton RV creates fantastic memories that will change your life forever. Have you dreamed of getting into glamping in your own RV? Colton RV can help you take that step into the future with a new or used RV. Talk with a Colton RV team member online, by phone, or in person and see hundreds of RVs, from tent trailers to motorhomes and everything in between. It's all about great selection, unequaled service, and low prices. Open late at 2 convenient locations, one in Tonawanda and one in Orchard Park, New York. Now is the time to see the future at Colton RV.
And we're back. We've been talking about healthy eating and fitness, the RV edition.
Wow, that's so corny sounding.
I came up with it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, it was great. So we've already talked about, what things we need to bring to make, healthy eating doable in the RV. Yeah, you need to go out and have some, go out to restaurants.
Enjoy your life.
But, bottom line, we didn't hit on, when we go out to eat, you're going to make probably not the best choices.
Yeah.
So go out, have fun, splurge. Moderation is the key, guys. So when you go back and you're actually making your own meals, make those healthy choices. And we do our best to try to do that when we're at the restaurants. Like Neal, for example, loves to order, the biggest and the best, which is great. And I might try to help him tone it down a bit. And I think what you hate more than anything is when I beg you to share a dessert with me so you don't
Oh,
get
no,
your own.
I'm so happy to do that.
Yes. So
Notice the sarcasm.
Right. But, it's because I love you and we're
good.
trying to be healthy and make the best choices.
Something we should talk about, too, is when you're looking at, when you used to go out to eat, a burger and fries, for example, used to be 500 calories plus a drink. That was
back in 1950.
1950, it was 500 calories. And that's actually a good amount for a meal, right? Now, the burger and fries and a drink are 12 to 1,500 calories. And then you got someone like me who wants to throw a full-size dessert on top of it, and we're talking 2,000 calories is what you should pretty much eat for your day. And you've had that just at dinner time.
And it's, I can't blame people. I mean, it's our culture now. It's always, you go to, there's one show that used to be on, and it was all about, basically glutton eating. And you get to eat it for free if you eat 50,000 calories of steak.
That Travel Channel show. I can't remember the name of it. I know what you're talking about.
But, when you go out, even if you were to go, we don't eat fast food restaurants. We haven't been in one in 10 years.
No, we don't eat chains.
No. Well, we do sometimes. So I'm talking more the Mickey D's, places that.
No.
When the kids were young, we went. We weren't making the best choices then. But there was something we saw once that I think it was what's become is just, like Neal was saying, it's just more and more and more. So what's supposed to be normal eating, I think sometimes could feed a family at one point. You can get a steak that I know 50 years ago was feeding a family.
Yeah.
So you have to think about these things, and so try to make the best choices you can when you go out and indulge and enjoy.
Absolutely.
What restaurants are out there. We love to go to the mom and pop places. I think typically there's healthier food, offered there.
A lot of them are farm to table.
We really try to seek those out.
More organic.
We love to. First question I'll ask someone that's working a desk at an RV, park. Where do you go eat?
Yes.
I don't want to go where the tourists go. I don't. They cost more. They're usually some, chain, and I don't mean to down the chains, but
chains are
I
fine.
want to try some different foods. I want to taste what they're eating here.
I mean, if you go to an Applebee's, because we've done this before when we've traveled, when we go to like a restaurant, like I'm using Applebee's as an example, but if you go to there, they have Applebee's pretty much in every community you go to. So what's new about that? There's nothing different. The menu's the same.
Which
from
for
here
some
to
people,
Oklahoma
they like that.
Sure.
But for others that want to be a bit more adventurous, and
I
I'm
like to
sorry,
explore.
RVing is about adventure, exploring, and trying new things.
It's RV
Being
glamping adventures.
flexible.
Exactly.
RV glamping adventures. So for us, we want to get out there and try new foods and. What are they eating down in Mississippi? What are they eating over in California? We'll get out there soon, we promise. But, what are they doing out there? I want to go find that out. And a lot of it is found, our culture, our flavors, it's in the food. I want to go. And food is part of life, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So the other part of RVing for us, in the healthy aspect of things is, like I said before, when you're RVing, to me, that just means that's healthy lifestyle. Easy. It's so easy. I think that when we're RVing, we're outside more than we are when we're home and living our lives and doing our thing. And Neal and I are runners, and we do yoga, and we try to get out there. But we do more of that.
I don't think you sit very often.
It's so hard for me.
You're
and I'm
not
not
a
hyper.
No,
I'm not hyper.
at all.
I'm just active.
Yes.
And I take you along with me. So when we get into the RV, it's really about let's go.
Yeah.
I enjoy moderation again. I enjoy sitting and relaxing too.
Oh, there's campfire
but for a
time.
little while.
Yeah.
And I want to go and see and do and talk about our beach time, Neal.
Oh, the beach time is amazing. So when we go onto a beach, a lot of people just go and camp out and they sit. And that's just not what happens. Flip over, and then the timer goes and they flip again, little suntan lotion, they just maybe read a book. That's not us. When we're on the beach, we'll sit for 15, 20 minutes. Hey, let's go for a walk. And we walk up the beach as far as we can, and then we walk back.
Again, getting in like 20,000 steps.
Not only is walking in the sand excellent exercise for your legs and calves and just your body, but it's also, Kathy and I will have the most amazing talks on our walks.
That's where we plan our next move, our life plans. When you're on vacation, you're stepping away, and you can sit and talk. I don't know. It's you and I get walking on the beach,
and
for example.
It's the beach. It's something about it.
Or walking around, just exploring an RV park, going on a hike. I don't know. We come up with the most amazing things, and we do them. We follow through. This is where our goal planning happens. So, some amazing things come in. Maybe we get our synapses firing a little more.
Crazy.
There's oxygen in our brains.
And it works. And then, so when we come back, after Kathy and I sit, she'll sit for like 10, 15 more minutes.
I can sit a little longer. I'm not that hyper.
15, 20 minutes. And then she'll go to the kids, hey, who wants to go for a walk?
Who wants to go for a walk?
And they do. And next thing you know, they'll go the other way and they're going for a walk. And that's awesome. I think getting out there and being active is really what keeps you young, keeps your muscles working, keeps you healthy, keeps you functioning. A lot of people come into our office and complain about like body aches and body pain. And
they're
a lot
not
of them
moving. They're not moving.
It's when we see them, they're at a desk job. And so there's a lot of time to sitting when you're working.
In life.
Now, in life. And so, to get up and move, I know for myself, when I go for my walk, I feel better. My joints function better. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a little older, but everything works like it's supposed to. And I think that's really important.
And everything's going to hurt a little bit.
You're going to have some pain.
It's never going to be 17 again, but it is what it is, and you got to keep moving. I think the ones that you see, genetics certainly play a big part in this,
sure.
I'm not negating that. But it's all about, for me, like, hey, I could be dead tomorrow, but I'm going to do my best to try. And that means getting up every day, going back to what I said before, making the best decisions possible that day. And part of RV Glamping Adventures, like the adventure part for us, is getting out there, doing, seeing, trying new things. Like when you go to these RV parks, there's so much to do. I can't even imagine how people there is the RVer that loves to sit and drink a beer and not move for a weekend.
Yeah.
And that's not us. But that's not us. There's so much that's offered that you could be doing.
Somebody listening to this might be thinking, I'm not in the best health. Maybe, things do hurt, and I've got a heart problem, and I've got some things, and I can't do walking up the beach like, you're saying. I used to have a neighbor who lived next door to me years ago, and she said, I can't walk. My husband has to take me in the wheelchair to do things. And I said, but maybe you could go for a little walk and walk like a couple houses over and walk maybe a block, and then add on to that the next day, do 2 blocks and add on. And I moved away, and I saw that woman, about 5 miles from her house a couple of years later, and she was walking. She was walking. And I think, they're baby steps. You start seeing these little problems that your body's having. Maybe I can't walk, certain amount of distance, or I can't move. But if you try and you give it you don't have to kill yourself, and it's all about moderation. You do what you can, and then you try again. And then you try again, and a little bit more, and
it's also finding different activities. And there again, you try these adventures. At the RV parks, you've got, there's horseback riding, canoeing,
there's so much to do.
Fishing. Just going on a trail walk. Bikes? If you don't bring your own bikes, you can rent them at these places. There's sometimes there's classes, sometimes there's fitness centers. There
are fitness centers,
and I think it's about finding what's fun, because I don't think working out should be
work.
It should be something that you get kind of a passion for, and that's fun and makes you feel good. So if it's a low impact aerobic-y thing, if it's stretching through yoga, Tai Chi. It's not, and you got to think about the cognitive impacts, what it's doing for your brain, and all these good things. So this is where RVing just goes so beyond RVing.
Absolutely.
For us, it's a whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
And
I think for many of our listeners, it's probably a lifestyle as well.
Right, and so they get it.
Yeah.
But we're asking you to maybe step a little bit more outside your comfort zone if you're not already. Or for those of you that are active, there's a great couple out there that the Fit RV,
right?
And I totally get them. That's not our total focus; it's part of the journey for us. But I love what they're promoting.
Absolutely.
Go check them out. They do. They show and they're in a van, and what they're doing. Class B, and they can do all these activities out of this. They do a lot of running and cycling
and cycling.
And I think that's so encouraging, and I love to promote that kind of thing because you can do it, and I believe in, and I know you're with me, you got to challenge yourself.
Yes.
I grew up dancing.
Yes.
That was my thing. I wanted to be a dancer. Life took me in a different direction. So finally, when the kids were a little bit older, in my mid-30s, I decided to take this adult tap class.
Yes.
And I did that for a while, and that led to becoming certified Zumba or licensed Zumba instructor. And then I taught Zumba for 4 years.
Yeah.
Now I'm running and doing yoga. To me, it's a journey. I don't want to keep doing the same thing, and I'll I like this for a while, and I'll dabble in this, and you do the same. We'll just try different things. And, get gym memberships, whatever. We ran a gym for a while. So we try different things, and you find what's fun, and you do that for a while. And then what else can I do? This is what's going to keep you guys young and active and having these adventures.
And fit and healthy and happy. It's really about happiness.
Yeah, and I'm not some skinny thing, but I'm fit.
You're fit.
And I can run 5 miles, and I'm going to be 46.
Well, you're in great shape.
I'm proud of that.
Yes.
And you two are turning 49, and we want to keep this going as long as possible. So, there's modifications you can make if you're in a smaller RV. Why not bring a yoga mat? And
sure.
And again, Google it. How do I do yoga? Google it.
YouTube has some great videos for beginners.
To me, you're your only excuse.
Exactly.
There's no excuses. All of this stuff is offered, certainly at RV parks, even national parks. My gosh, get out there, walk, swim.
Yeah,
whatever.
Walking's free.
Free. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, it's free, guys. It's free. And the payoff is huge. Yeah. Absolutely huge. What RV park doesn't have a pool you can do some laps in, or golf is a big out. We keep these things in the RV, so there's people. I notice our family. We put down our smartphones.
Oh yeah.
You got 6 people with smartphones, and
there's a time for it.
There's a time and a place. We have a business we're running. We need the internet while we're there, but we put it down and we go play lawn darts
or bocce,
or we bring tennis rackets with us. Our golf clubs are with us if there's the opportunity to play golf, and we run. Yeah. So you might pay a little bit to go at a local golf course, or you might go run a trail for free. Yeah. It's really what we're here to do is just to try to inspire you. It makes us feel great. I would never say to anybody, don't do something we wouldn't do. If it's something you feel like you could try, dip your toe in it and try.
Yeah, it used to be, my motto used to be, do what I say, not as I do, but now I do. Now,
There was a day when we had 4 kids under the age of 9, and they knew us at the local pizza parlor on Friday night. They knew we were going to order fried mozzarella sticks.
By the sound of my voice, this is even before
I think
caller
it would color
ID.
it. Oh, really?
I know, and
How come they knew
I'm
Neal?
like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
And that is probably how many years ago? 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And we made, and I don't call it a diet, I don't call it other than lifestyle change. Because here we were running this wellness business, and we weren't living a fit and active life. So this has just been part of our journey, along with the RVing passion that we have. For us, this is what we do. So we wanted to share that with you. So, get a hold of us. Let us know what you guys are doing, ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Any questions, give us, drop us a line.
So can I tell them?
Yes. How do they do that, Neal?
You can get in touch with us through rvglampingadventures@gmail.com, Twitter at RV Glampers.
Right.
Sorry about that. Facebook, RV Glamping Adventures. We have.
I got exciting news about that. We're getting near 10,000.
Oh my God, that's
I know.
awesome!
I'm going to celebrate.
Yay.
Seriously, I'm so excited about that, you guys.
Thank you so much for all of you guys who follow us and like us on Facebook.
Yes.
We also have Kathy's got some amazing blogs at www.rvglampingadventures.com, and then we're also on Instagram.
RV Glampers and YouTube.
YouTube.
And we're going to have more videos coming out with some menus and recipes, and we're going to do a lot of some fitness stuff this summer. Big trips coming up. Lots to talk about. We will see you guys next week. Have a great week.
Have a great week.